Hey, it's been a while. This build I got for you is a closet remodel that is going to be the perfect searchable closet remodel. And I say that because I think it's the most relatable of the few that I've done so far. This is a small walk-in closet, like it's barely a walk-in. It's 4 foot by 4 foot, give or take. And it felt very cramped. And now it feels pretty spacious. And I did that by doing a few things kind of out of the box, which I'll show you. And I gotta say, I added lighting in there, which made it feel huge. So, before I show you the build, let's talk meat and potatoes, okay? How long did it take me? This thing took me 4 Saturdays to do. It actually took so long that the total video is like 35-40 minutes. So I cut this thing up into 2 parts because I know our attention spans are pretty short nowadays. So I'm just doing you all a favor. Costs, this thing took me $200 to build this. Now that's with LED lighting, radiata pine, which is like medium grade. It's sandable, it's got a decent finish, but you have to paint it, and edge banding, you know, and miscellaneous stuff that we kind of all have anyway, screws, glue, things like that. So $200, not bad. If you're completely new to doing remodel projects, let's say you have a very minimal tool set, this is up your alley. If you skip doing all the dado work that I did, you could build this with just a circular saw, a drill, and a sander. You could build this thing, no problem. You'll see, for me, I ended up using a bunch of extra tools, but that's only just because I have them. So don't feel like you need to use all the things that I have or you can't do this build, okay? I want to tell you a story about my father. I remember when I was a kid, we were sitting down and we were watching Bob Vila. Yeah, I used to watch that as a kid. And I don't remember what he was building, a chair, something, doesn't matter. It was a carpentry project and he was in his shop. And I remember my father laughing when Bob went over. He said, oh, we're gonna go to this next thing, we're gonna do this part. And he walked over to some $10,000 piece of equipment. I don't remember what it was, but I just remember him laughing out loud because there's no one watching that show right now that has that. So don't think because I do these projects and I have this tool and you don't have that tool, then you need to go out and buy $2,000 in tools so that you can build a plywood box. You don't. You need some tools, but that's it. All right, let's jump into this sucker and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, today's project is a little tiny baby closet. So this closet is small. I think the dimensions are something like 40 inches wide, so less than 4 feet, and then like 48 1/8. Things that I need to do in here. I need to add some lighting. It's too dark in there. I need to add some shoe storage. I need to make bigger dresser drawers. Lastly, I need to make some custom storage to fit some custom things, like her suitcase, for example. Let's get it. Okay, I think my next step is going to move on to doing the dado work. Strategically, you would want to kind of make all your cuts, then take the time to take the regular saw blade out and put the dado stack in. But judging how this is kind of a weird, all built together setup, I don't want to wait till the end. I'm going to do the dados so that I can build the dresser and so that I can build that corner shelf. Then I'm going to put those in and see what the rest of it, because I have shelving up top, and the width of that shelving kind of depends on where everything ends up lining up. So instead of doing too much planning ahead, I'm going to stop, I'm going to build what I have, install it, and then see what the next measurements are. That might limit some errors in the future. So we're going to dado. I've got this piece of, I think it's birch top. It's a much smoother finish. It's just some scrap I had from an old project. You don't have to use that. You could use the pine that I bought. You just have to sand it a lot more. The pine's fairly smooth. It's just not as smooth as this. This is nice stuff. I think this is actually cabinet grade. So this is really nice stuff. I'm going to use this as the very top of the dresser because that's going to have the most visible surface area. The rest of it is going to be the radiata pine. It's all getting painted anyway. As far as what I need to dado the vertical pieces for my dresser. I need to dado the vertical pieces for the corner shelving. This piece, I want to gouge out a nice chunk out of here, mostly because I want to shrink it down a little bit. And I don't want this plywood edge to be exposed on the left side of the dresser. And I'll show you that once I get it built. But basically I want to kind of cover up as much as I can of this exposed edge. It's not the end of the world. I could just edge band it. Maybe I will just edge band it. Maybe I will just edge band it. I'm going to dado it. It's perfect. Look at that. Oh, perfect. Perfect. So that was part one. You'll notice there at the end you saw some LED lighting, and I didn't show you any of that. That's kind of because it's a little bit of an editing snafu on my part. But next video you'll see I cut the side wall all apart, and then I add LED lighting to a bunch of cabinets. And I'm excited to show you that stuff because it has motion sensor lights. So it's a great way for someone that isn't very good at electrical, you know, like me, to be able to put stuff in without having to do any sort of infrastructure wiring itself. So that's it, and I'll see you next week.